in 2008 we actually raised money and bought a boat, and we broke the siege. We were the first boat to actually ever go to Palestine in 41 years. That's an amazing statistic in itself. So we then came back, because we've been so successful, we bought a second boat and we continued to do trips until the war in Gaza in 2008, December 2008, when the Israelis destroyed our boat. So we came back out, we bought another boat, they arrested us, threw us in prison and held us there, and then deported us. And then in the last flotilla, they came on board, they killed 9 activists, wounded 40, and arrested everybody else and threw them in prison. So we're back again to have another go at trying to break the siege, because what's actually happening there is so inhumane, it's unbelievable. And it's the likes of students are the ones that's actually suffering the most. Students they bomb the universities, and any students that gets visas or we'd say accepted into universities outside of Gaza are not allowed to leave Gaza. So you have around 700 students every year that aren't actually allowed to leave. So we're trying to highlight this, and in highlighting it, we need to, we'd say, get people like yourselves to sign up to the Facebook and to Perdana website and get the word spread out there. As you've seen yourselves, it's students that actually can make the difference. In Tunisia and in Egypt, it was students that actually started the protests. They actually started on Facebook and all over the web and got everybody out. And they actually got rid of their leader of 30 years without picking up a single weapon. Now this is a remarkable feat in itself. If you think about it, America and other countries have been going around the world trying to bring democracy to the world by killing everybody. The students got up and showed that you can actually do it peacefully and much quicker by going out and protesting and saying enough is enough. And that's why we need the likes of you to come up and sign up to Perdana Facebook, sign up to the web, and actually get the word out there of what's actually happening in Palestine. Because Palestine has been known as the forgotten story for a long time. It's been going on since 1948, and people know very little about it. All they know is that there's always been trouble in Palestine and Israel. Now, we are not anti-Israeli. The perception would be that we are anti-Israeli. We are not anti-Israeli, and we're not anti-Jewish. We are actually anti-Israeli government policy. There's a massive difference in this. The government policy is a policy of apartheid. It's divide and keep people separated. In the roads in Israel, Arabs are not allowed to travel on the roads in Israel. It's only for Jewish people. This is actually worse than what actually happened in South Africa in the 80s, which was recognised as being a very apartheid state. In Palestine, they have built a wall over 700 kilometres long to try and divide the country. We're trying to highlight this. We're trying to highlight the situation that if a Palestinian wants to travel 20 kilometres, he actually has to go through around 30 checkpoints, and it can take him up to 10 hours just to travel that 20 kilometres, because he has to go to checkpoint after checkpoint after checkpoint. So this is the type of stuff that we're trying to highlight and trying to get people on board. The more people we have on board, the stronger the voice will be, and the easier it will be to actually get the job done. So, does anybody any questions or anything like this?
You're too good. You told them everything.
That's what it is, being great.
Who do they contact if they wish to contact someone?
You can go onto the website perdanaforpeace.org. If you go onto perdanaforpeace.org, you'll find, we'd say, all the links there and all the contacts addresses there, and you can get in touch with us. And if you have concerns or questions, we'll answer any questions that you actually have for us. And it's just we want to highlight the situation in Palestine and also in the Middle East in general, because you've actually seen yourselves the amount of unrest that's been in the Middle East since Christmas. And if The problem at the moment for the Palestinians is that the media coverage is all concentrated on the likes of Libya and Bahrain and places like this when it comes to the Middle East. Yesterday, there was 8 Palestinians killed in air attacks by Israelis. There was a bomb set off in a bus in Jerusalem. 1 Israeli was killed. And it has actually, in the last 2 weeks, it has actually started to escalate more and more and more. And it's going to turn into a very violent situation unless the people of the world stand up and say enough is enough. And that's what we need. We need the people of the world to stand up and say this. And it's the students that have led the way so far in all these conflicts in the Middle East. They've actually stood up in Tunisia and says enough is enough. And they've got rid of their leader. Same in Egypt. They're trying the same in Bahrain. And if you actually watch the footage, you actually see that they're actually searching all the protesters that come in to make sure that they actually don't have any weapons. Because they want a non-violent, peaceful protest. And this is what we're pushing for as well. You are not going to, an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. So you must remember this. So you have to do it peacefully. There's no sense of going out there with, I have a bigger weapon than you, so I'm going to kill more of you. That doesn't work. That we have seen that over and over again. The Russians were in Afghanistan for 12 years, I think it was. They didn't win. They left. The Americans are in there now 11 years, and they're not winning. And they're going to have to leave. You can go in and try and kill as many people, but this is never going to work. If you sit down and talk, then you will make a change. You have to listen to what the other side want and what the other side need before you will actually make a change.